What is up, guys? Welcome back to my channel, and as you can see, I did a thing. I bought a Peloton bike, and today we're going to talk about it. I got my Peloton bike on July 19th. It is now the end of August, so I've had the bike for over a month now. My initial experience with it was not so great. The delivery process was an absolute nightmare. I have a whole video talking about that. If you haven't seen it, you can go watch that to catch up. But we're not talking about that today. We're talking about my initial review, my initial thoughts, my initial experience, what I'm thinking of the Peloton bike so far, and why I even got it. If you're watching this video, you probably have debated getting one yourself, or you already have one. They look fun, they look exciting, they look like a great time. One of the reasons why I wanted to do it is because I wanted to invest in something. I wanted to invest in myself. I knew that if I was just doing something for free, well, that's great. If I miss my workouts, it's not a big deal. I don't miss out on any money. But if I paid for something, I invested in something, and I'm paying for something every single month, like the monthly subscription, I'm going to be much more apt to use it, because if I don't, I'm throwing my money away, and basically I spent $3,000 for nothing. I could have easily just invested that into my family instead. Second reason, if you're new, you don't know this, but I lost one of my brothers last year, and in the first 6 months of my grieving process, I gained 30 pounds, which obviously is not good, not healthy, but it's an awful time. And mentally, I know I need to do something. Physically, obviously, I know I need to do something. The third reason was for the scenic rides. I love hiking, I love exploring, I love doing things like that, so I'm like, oh my gosh, how cool would that be? So the day that I got it installed, obviously I was super excited to finally be able to use it. I had to test it out, see what I think. So I just clicked on a random ride, a random class, just so that way I could at least get an experience with it. And I rode for maybe 2 minutes, and honestly, I felt like my butt was going to fall off. It hurt so bad just sitting on the regular seat. So I had to exit out of the class because I still don't know if there's a way to pause the class, but I just exited out of the class, I ran upstairs, grabbed a towel, I put it on the bike as some cushion, and it made such a huge difference. Once I do that, I go into a scenic ride, which, like I said, is a big reason why I got the bike, and I was honestly very underwhelmed. It was not what I thought it was going to be. I thought that when you did the scenic rides, it adjusted to like your speed, so it felt like you're actually there, you were actually riding, and it doesn't. It's one just single pace the entire time. It's pretty, but it didn't feel super realistic. I thought about buying a new seat, I thought about getting the shorts, the padded shorts, but then I was like, you know what, this is all new to me. I probably just need to get used to it. I probably just need to break it in, you know? Let me hold off before I spend even more money on something else. And I'm so glad that I didn't spend any money on anything, because using the towel, it's not the same obviously, but it does make a big difference. Also, when I initially was getting on the bike, I felt like the handlebars were really far away from me. I really felt like I had to stretch out to be able to reach the handlebars, and I know that they want you to like relax your arms, but honestly I felt like if I wasn't like this, I wasn't going to be able to reach the handlebars. Again, it was probably just me getting used to the bike, but it was a little bit hard to get comfortable with. I started with all beginner classes because obviously I haven't cycled in years. I initially got the bike in July. I knew that in like 2 weeks after I got the bike, I was going to be leaving for vacation. So I wasn't super like crazy into it every day, because I knew that if I got a streak started, I was going to be able to keep up with it, because I was going to be gone for a week and a half. I rode it every couple of days, and I liked it, but I just always hear people say when they get their Peloton, like, oh my gosh, it's the best purchase ever. I don't know how I ever lived without it. And honestly, at first I didn't feel that way. Like, I was happy that I bought it, but did I think it was worth that much money? Not really. But when I got back, I decided that I was going to obviously give it a real try now that I wasn't going to be leaving, and I can actually get a streak going, can really test things out. I'm currently on a 2-week streak. My feelings of the bike have completely changed. Doing it every few days versus every day, I feel like was a huge game changer for me. Also realizing and learning what I like versus what I don't like, and the music. The music makes such a huge difference. If I don't enjoy the music that I'm listening to, I don't really push as hard as I do when I'm listening to the music that I really love. Now that I've been doing it every single day, I'm finding that I am like living for the classes. I love the classes. I look forward to the classes. I do a live class when I can, if there's one going on when I jump on, but I don't intentionally try to always do live classes. And the live classes are not what I thought it was going to be. I thought that they could see you, call you out, whatever. They can't. They're very positive, they're very motivational, very nice. Everybody that's on the rise is very nice. Everyone's high-fiving each other. It is just very supportive. Since I got back from vacation, I stopped looking for beginner classes, period. I simply just base it on what looks fun and what's the length of the ride. Whatever the length of the ride that I'm looking for on that particular day, that's what I pick. And if it's advanced, whatever, I don't care. I'm gonna do the ride anyways. I've learned that by doing that, my progress has gone up so much. When I initially was riding the bike, I had a hard time staying at the lowest resistance or the lowest cadence, whatever that they needed me to be. And sometimes I even had to drop underneath where I was supposed to be at. And now I'm finding that I'm either in the middle of the resistance or at the high end of the resistance every single time to get through the rides. And that just shows how much progress that I've made in such a short amount of time. I love that they have the auto lock feature for resistance instead of constantly having to go down and make sure that you're turning the knob, keeping up with everything. Usually I have to crank it up a little bit, and that is always like another little thing that just sparks joy in me when it's like, ooh, yeah, this is good. I have auto lock on, but I need to go a little bit harder. I really try to watch my numbers when I'm running, maybe a little bit too much, but I always just try to pay attention. And if I'm in the high range or I'm going over my cadence, then I know I need to bump up my resistance because I need to get my max results. I just think that, you know, a 30-minute workout is literally like 2% of your day. Even if I don't want to do it, even if I feel like I'm gonna die on the bike, it is such a short period of your time, and that's how progress is made. If I just kind of half all of my workouts, then obviously I'm not going to be any better in the next couple months, year, whatever. I've also noticed that one major motivator for me is paying attention to my personal best for that particular time frame. So my personal best for a 10-minute ride, 20-minute ride, 30-minute ride, 45, whatever. Paying attention to my score and try to always make sure that I'm above that line is very helpful, because I'm not comparing myself to somebody else. I'm not trying to beat anybody else. I'm literally going against myself. If I am like just crushing my score, then I will find somebody else in the list who has a similar score as me, and I try to keep up with them on the leaderboard. I've learned to just really love the feeling that you get when you're pushing so hard and you feel like you're gonna die, you feel like you can't go any harder, but you do, and you can. Feel so accomplished. Like people talk about, oh, the runner's high. I feel like there's a cycling high, and I feel like now that I'm getting it, I look forward to it. Like I look forward to getting on the bike. I look forward to getting on the rides. And even if there's a day where I don't really feel like it, within like 2 minutes of getting on the bike, I'm so glad I did, because I'm just so in the zone. It is so nice to relieve stress. It is so nice to just make you happy. Honestly, I even get emotional during the ride sometimes. I don't even know why, but sometimes if a song just hits you in a certain way, or you had just a really bad day and you're just crushing it, it makes you feel so good. I don't know, it's so therapeutic. Once I'm done with a ride, I get a notification on my phone, which I really enjoy, just like telling you, good job, whatever, you did this today. What I've been doing is when I go to bed at night, I've been opening up the Peloton app on my phone, and I scroll through the rides. I think about, okay, what's tomorrow? What's my schedule gonna be like? How much time do I have to be on the bike? What kind of ride do I want to do? And I will schedule it. I feel like that's another good motivator, is scheduling your rides, because I kind of look at it as like a meeting. It's a meeting with myself. So I just feel like it's a better motivator for me to continue to do it if I have it scheduled. If not, I can just find XYZ excuse to not get on the bike and ride. So for the towels, I always put one over top of the handlebars, so that way I'm not getting a ton of sweat all over the bike. And then I take the fluffiest towel that I can find, and then I just fold it up and stick it over top of my seat for some extra cushion. And then after every ride, I will turn it, so that way it's a little bit more fluffy next time I do it. After a couple turns, then I just switch it out with a new towel. You do have to have your Peloton bike near an outlet because you need to plug it in. And unfortunately, in our basement, we only have one outlet. This is where it plugs in the back. So that's why I have a huge extension cord here. I leave my shoes strapped to the bike just because I find it kind of scary to kick your cleats in and out of the bike. So it's just easier for me to leave them in there since I am the only one who is going to be riding the bike. These are my two workout buddies, always down here hanging out with me. That's just where I put my water, put my phone in the other slot here, and like I said, I just leave my cleats on, and I have the towels here. They do have a ton of other different classes, meditation, yoga, strength training, HIIT, whatever. I personally have not done any of the other classes. I plan to incorporate that. I don't even have my workout mat down here yet. I've just been trying to get used to the bike and really figure out what I like, what I enjoy. So when I initially get on, this is what the screen looks like. If you want to do a live session, it tells you what sessions are coming up next. You can join in any of those. It also tells you what's popular right now. If you want to add in some extra strength classes, you can do that. You can choose your class based on the instructor, the length, the music genre, the class type, whatever. But there's a ton of classes to choose from. Like I said, they do have a bunch of other classes. I just have not done any of these. If you want to do the scenic rides, here are some of the scenic rides. And this is my current progress. So today will be my 14th day in a row. There are a ton of different achievements that you guys can reach, which is kind of cool. A little bit more motivation. Keeps track of your activity, how well you're doing, your distance, calories, average output. And then every time I'm done with the bike, he always said, make sure you shut it down. Thank you guys so much for watching. Hopefully that this was helpful. Just some tips and motivation advice, things that are helpful for me. My initial thoughts of the bike, my experience, my thoughts. I do plan to make more videos about the bike, of course. Once I finish my 30-day streak, I definitely want to talk about that, see how far I've come, see how much things have changed. If there's anything in particular that you want to see surrounding the bike for a video, make sure you let me know. If you enjoyed the video, make sure you hit the like button. Make sure you're subscribed if you're not already. And as always, we will see you guys in the next video. Bye guys.